Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week this week, you have the Chariot card, right? In a lot of ways, this suggests to me that you actually have the green light to go ahead with your plans this week. Now, that being said, you do need to take them at a pace. One of the things about the Chariot card, yes, it can be, victory and success and all of those things, but it also can show up when things are going at too fast a pace and need to relax, maybe need to slow down. Now, its numerological opposite in the major arcana is the Tower card. So this is a moment where taking your time, slowing it up, right? Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to get off the ground, you have time. Don't take it too fast, don't take it too quick, all right? With that said, for your actions and options this week, you have the Four of Wands. So this is great. This is some really good news, actually, especially with the Chariot card. It does suggest a victory of some sort. What it also tells me is that this could be a week where some good news finds you around something that you've put time, effort and energy into already. Now, here's the thing. The results may be delayed in some way, shape or form. And if that is the case, you're invited not to push, right? This is not a week to try to force it. What happens when you try to force something? You end up breaking something. So just slow it up, all right? For your communications and conversations, you have the Seven of Cups. Now, I mean, in this deck, I actually really love this. Look at that. It's quite a beautiful card. In this deck, what this actually says to me is that the answers that you need are going to come. And when they do, you may not necessarily like all of them, but when they do show up for you, this is going to be a week where you may be very surprised at what is uncovered or what is shared with you. And when it is, you might be a little bit sort of taken aback by said information. Now, that being said, it is right underneath the Chariot card. So this is not a week to put yourself out in too many different directions. Because you've got the Chariot card here as well, what I'm inclined to say to you is, this week you're going to have to be very selective with the way that you step forward with something. And the reason being is some piece of information that you are either not privy to or don't have at this moment in time, or as yet unaware of, is going to slowly sort of make itself known this week. And when it does, you may kind of be like scrabbling for, okay, well, what the fuck do I do now? All right, excuse my language. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, this week, whatever tasks are handed to you, be sure they're not given to you to trip you up. So pay attention to what it is that you're being asked to do. Pay attention to what it is that the outcome is that is expected. All right. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this week, I've got to be honest with you, you're having to retrace some steps this week, right? That Seven of Cups, it's quite a nebulous energy on its own. And there's a part of me that almost wants to say to you, you've taken the wrong turn somewhere, right? And because you've got this Chariot card, it kind of feels like maybe you're hurtling down that wrong track at 100 miles an hour. And now you're going to have to stop and say, oh, fuck. You know, excuse my language, sorry, part your mouth today. You're going to have to come all the way back to go down, you know, the right direction. So this week, this is one of the reasons as well. When I say to you, slow down this week, it may be in your best interests. Now, when it comes to those of you that are retired, no longer working for any reason, the quality of information that you have is only really as good as you can make it, right? So your natural innate ability is to take things apart and, you know, sort out the good stuff, weed out the gems, right? Let's put it that way to make it easy. However, just because you can spot the gems in something, like as an example, just because you can spot the gems in somebody else's work and pull those out doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be able to put it together in the same package. That's probably the best way to put it. So this week, just be conscious, all right, of what you're doing, what you're being asked to do, what you're being made to do, all of that stuff. For your love and relations, you have the Fool card. New things, places, people, and energy when it comes to love and relations. Now, you've got it underneath the Four of Wands, so that suggests good things. But what I will say to you is, for those of you that are in partnerships or relationships, this week, like I said, there's something uncovered. Now, I'm talking specifically to those of you that are in relatively new relatively new relationships. This week, some information could come up that has you questioning things, or maybe has a partner questioning you about something. I would just be aware, this is not a week to tell fibs. You will be caught out, and it will bite you in the arse somewhere, so just be careful. For those of you that are long-term committed, you know, marriage, partnerships, all the rest of it, this could be nice, but it also suggests that maybe a partner is expressing some sort of vulnerability and saying, look, you know what, I think there's just too much. We need to, something has to give, right? So a partner, you know, that you've been married to, somebody that you've been with for a long time, if you're in those kinds of commitments, maybe a partner is saying, look, at the moment, I think we need to call it on this, or maybe we've got too many commitments, maybe there's too many demands on our time or our resources. There's a moment of honesty here, and I think that it's really important that you take that. For your money and materials, you have the Six of Swords, right? So, I have to giggle just because tarot is very interesting. It really, really is. For all of its other meanings, sixes are very often about balance, right? And this week, there is going to be a pendulum swing of some sort. And I've got to say this, I don't know why, and I feel like this is very much the case for everybody. What you've wrought, what you've put together, what you've put out into the world, you're going to get a whole lot more of back. So when it comes back, whatever it is that we get, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's happy, whether it's sad, as the song says, it's going to be the results of your own making, quite frankly. And so the way that this may affect your money is it could go up, which would be awesome. It could go down, or it could stagnate. This is in direct proportion to what you have put out into the world. That's what you're going to get more of this week. Now, the other thing with the Six of Swords, okay, scrap that. When it comes to your when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be literally the systems of your body. So your nerve system, especially with that Seven of Cups and the Chariot card. Take your time to slow down. You don't have to do everything at 100 miles an hour this week. When it comes to your home and environment, it looks like a lot of you won't be spending time at home this week. There's something here that is calling your attention, and it may come up quite spontaneously, and it is something to do with the family. All right, so with that said, let's get into your full moon message, which is on the 20th. In the sign of Virgo, which Aries, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is your 8th house. Your message from that is the gate 30 and holding, right? So there is saving grace energy here, and it does suggest that you can really move forward if you hold on to the things that you know are right, and you release the things that you know are unethical or not doing you any favors, or like this could be a moment of real personal clarity in a lot of ways. And I know this probably sounds really weird, but these are the messages that are coming through. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have as best a week as you possibly can. Take your time with everything, right? Take a moment to really consider everything. I wish you all of the best, and I will speak to you soon.